How do you experience personal freedom and sense of meaning? State of flow is our optimal human state, but few know about it. Hello, everybody.
Hi.
Hello, Kristen. How you going?
I'm well, thank you. And you?
I'm very well. This is Kristen Coggan here. It's going to be the thing, isn't it? Kristen Coggan. Yes.
Yes.
Gee.
You just say Kristen.
I will. No, I want people to know who you are.
Oh, good.
Signpost for Living by Dr. Kirsten Hunter. Apparently I have to keep saying doctor even though I don't feel like one.
Yeah, I've never thought of you as a doctor.
Yes, but I've been one for how long? For 15 years.
Have you?
15 years.
I just think of you as someone who loves their work and just is so interested in what they do and does it with passion.
And my thing is I just always have to enjoy myself.
Yes.
I really.
Yeah, and you can tell that you do enjoy it.
So I have people come in for all, let's explain. So private practice, here we are talking about all of these clinical areas that we cover and trying to get it out into the community so people can access it. And the point is people come for all sorts of really deep, heavy issues, but we end up having fun.
Yep.
I don't know. Why not?
Well, you may as well.
Yes.
It can be fun. It doesn't have to all be dark and doom and dismal.
And I have something coming up that I'm going to really enjoy having a laugh at you about.
Right. Excellent.
It's disturbing how much I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, I know. It's disturbing.
So everyone, Kristen has no idea what we're talking about.
No, none at all.
And you don't mind this. You don't mind
I love
the
it.
impromptu.
I love it because otherwise I'd get stressed and anxious and think about it. This is all me just off the cuff.
There we go. Just having
fun.
Just having fun. You know those people if they're going to do public speaking and they need to know time prior what it's going to be so they can get prepared, and then that helps them with anxiety. And then there's those that just want to be thrown the curveball.
That's me.
That's you. I'm the same.
That is me. I am terrible at public speaking when I have to formulate a speech.
I would not have picked that.
And I'm hopeless. Hopeless. I work with an organisation that I have to do that once or twice a year in front of a room full of people.
So I'm thinking about putting on an event soon. You don't want to be the MC?
If I can wing it. all good.
There you go. Everyone, you can find me, by the way, with all the information we're going to be covering on kirstenhunterauthor.com. Just put that out there as well. Now, have you ever heard of State of Flow?
No.
I know.
Was there a band called State of Flow? I've got something tinging in my brain.
If not, we should start one.
Good name for a band, hey?
Now, State of Flow in the world of psychology is basically how do you have quality of life? And, so it's higher order stuff. We spend a lot of time with people who are in the trenches having a rough time. And this is when we're saying, hey, how do we actually really thrive and really come alive with life? And yet no one knows about it. Oh, my gosh. One of my biggest frustrations is how little people know about psychology, which is what this is all about.
This is why you're writing the books and doing what you do.
Yes, and it was going to be one book and it became 6. Because but I'm gonna be releasing it as one book, but also 6 books.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm worried. The first one's called Control Your Consciousness, and I'm a bit worried it's a bit heavy. But it's important. How your brain works. The second one is, let me see if I can remember them already. Control Your Consciousness. Number 1, consciousness. 2, understanding myself. Speak clearly, Kirsten. Then we've got State of Flow, which is what we're talking about now.
Yes.
And mindfulness. Then we've got understanding other people.
Yep.
Number 4. And that's loved ones to tricky ones. Number 5, parenting. Big one.
Yes.
Number 6, finale, nailing being an adult.
Yes, well, I need some help with that at times.
Yeah, and I designed these books while I was sitting in a theatre audience watching a show. Because that's when your brain thinks well.
Because that's what Kirsten does.
Yes, watching Kinky Boots, actually. Seriously.
I went and saw Kinky Boots because you told me to.
I know. I really enjoyed it. Okay, so State of Flow is when you find something that has incredible meaning, that you really, really enjoy, that is challenging, and you throw yourself into it, And we're going to go over this a few times, and time disappears.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So a lot of people, they are very much living they're kind of on a conveyance belt. You know,
Yep.
they're going around.
Going through the
merry-go-round.
motions.
That's right. Round, 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 round. And you say, you know, is there purpose in that for you? And the answer is no. Are you growing through that? No.
No.
Are you passionate? No. I think that's why I have so much fun with what I'm doing all the time.
Yes.
You know, because it is passion. I have passion. I'm a very passionate person.
You are.
Are you feeling it?
Yes, I am. The zings are coming through my headphones.
Oh, I am staring at you as well. Staring into each other's eyes. Yeah, so it's a huge area. So here we go. Living is about growth, and when we're working towards our potential, that's when we really, really feel happy. Can you think of a time when you've just really been in the zone? I know I'm putting you on the spot here.
Yes, you are in the zone and heading towards something and feeling good about what I'm achieving. Is that what you're talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. When you really just absolutely just.
If I've got a work project that I'm absorbed in.
This is what we're talking about. Yes.
Yeah, and I just get so excited and don't want to stop and, lose track of time. Oh, look at that. It's time to go home.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And, it just absorbs me.
Absolutely. So the goal, we're going to talk more about that, but basically it's about understanding what the process is.
Okay.
And then it's prioritizing it, it's valuing it. And then it's about trying to engineer your life so you get as many of these pockets in your life as possible, because they fuel you up and they give you an incredible sense of your own individuality and your own passion for living. So, you know, it's really bringing your life up to that level. It's fantastic. It's absolutely wonderful.
Right, let's go.
Now, this is the bit I'm excited about.
Okay.
I'm going to pass Kristen the name of the fellow who came up with State of Flow. Can you pronounce it? There we go. It's down there. Just letting you know, it's got 15 letters. There's a few Zs.
Csikszentmihalyi.
I know, right? So he's this.
Okay, no, hold on, down here. Pronounced.
No, that's my cheat sheet, not yours. Oh, you're gorgeous. Now, I hear that his friends just call him Mike.
Okay.
I would too.
Yeah.
But he's a Hungarian-American psychologist.
Yep.
So naughty. And Mihai is his first name.
Yep.
And Csikszentmihalyi
Right.
is apparently how you say it. But in truth, when you come across psychologists, psychiatrists, they all say, oh, it's that guy with a really long name and no one can pronounce it.
Yep.
But, you know, Csikszentmihalyi.
Thanks for setting me up for that.
I know. It's an impressive name. So he's very, very well known, extremely well known. And he discovered this concept of state of flow. Love to meet him. Apparently he's a lovely guy. Yeah, so here's the thing. I wish I had a visual here. But if you have this this task that you're wanting to do,
Yep.
and it's actually more stressful than your skill set,
Yes.
it's more complex than your skill set, you're going to
Yes.
get really stressed about it.
Yes.
So the key is you've got to have something that extends you, but it's not beyond your scope.
Okay.
Yeah. So there is a requirement there. But if you're doing something that's meaningful, but it's actually too easy, then you're going to get bored.
Yep.
So the first ingredient is to understand why you want this state of flow and to look for it in your life. The second is to pick a topic to pick an area that you really love. So a project, hobby, interest, we're about to get into that. And the next is try to find something that matches your skill set but extends you. You know, so
Yes.
my beautiful hubby, John, I just call you hubby. I never call you that. Husband. He knows 4 languages. I'm terrible at language. Terrible. And now if you were to go and throw me into a language class that was quite extensive, I would not have a state of flow.
No.
I would be really freaked out because I don't have a natural aptitude at all for that.
I'd love listening though.
Well, you could get revenge back on me, couldn't you? Whereas if you were to take me to a horticultural kind of class, I love plants and I love all that Latin stuff. I would just throw myself in the deep end, and it's something that I have an aptitude for.
Okay. Yep.
Can you relate to that?
Yes,
Can you think
I
of
can.
something that is your go-to can do, and your no, don't get that near me?
On the spot.
Oh, come on, surely
This
you
is
have
why
a
you
list of.
surprised me. My go-to thing that I enjoy and that I love would be I love interior design.
Okay.
So if I was to immerse myself in classes or a group or something with that, I would probably just do that, get immersed in it and enjoy it and go with it. If you were to take me somewhere to a mechanic class, no.
Absolutely.
No.
First of all, you might not have an interest, but also is it actually the way your brain's wired?
Yeah, it would be the way my brain's wired. I just
not wired that way.
No.
Yeah, exactly. So it's really about finding something where you have a bit of an aptitude.
Yes.
And where you can extend yourself, and it's got to be doable.
Yes.
But it's got to extend you. And
Yes.
if it's too easy, then you get bored.
Yep. So there has to be a little bit of a challenge there. That's what you're saying.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, here's the thing, and we mentioned it earlier. A lot of people think that this is like a really wonderful state. And afterwards, when you come out of that time, you have this great sense of accomplishment, a great sense of zen, I guess. You know? But during it, you actually don't have emotion. It's really emotionless. You get lost in time. Time disappears, and you're actually emotionless. So it's a very surreal state. But yet it's the ideal state. Yeah.
It seems so interesting.
It is, isn't it? It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I love writing. I really, really, really love writing.
Yes.
And I love psychology and I love lots of other things. But a classic example of this is I was flying back, John, who gets spoken about all the time now, my husband, he's from Basque in Spain, yes? So I was flying back on my own from Basque, and I had Signpost for Living. I was still writing it. And I thought, excellent, here's a window of time, uninterrupted by children, yes.
On a plane.
On a plane, and, love company, but, it's an opportunity. So I just put my head down. 27 hours passed.
Did you sleep?
Well, I did, but I was reluctant to because I was consumed.
You're on a roll. You had your mojoing.
Absolutely. I was completely just absorbed in this project. My head was down. I was into it. I was just absolutely just
Focused.
burrowing through. Yeah, there was a fellow next to me who goes, "Oh, you're a writer." And I said, "Yes."
Leave me alone, I'm writing.
Yes, and he kept trying to talk to me. I'm like, "Go away. I'm not here for you." Yeah. But I was polite, I am.
Of course.
But and I remember in transit,
Yes.
I would just rush through the various gates because there was a couple of those, and then the moment I'd sit down, I'd keep going.
Yep.
And I wasn't worried about having to wait because I was writing.
It's the best feeling actually when you're in that zone, isn't it?
Absolutely. And I came back and I'd written a large portion, can't remember which of the books, but anyway, and 27 hours, and I'm like, oh, back in Australia. How about that?
Wow.
So it's a really good example of state of flow. And
Yes.
I personally never get bored because I've always got so many things I want to get into. If I have a window of time, I'm there, I'm into it.
I find that difficult to get focused to start with, but once I'm there, I'm there.
Yeah. What's the last thing that you've been learning about?
Podcast? No.
It's not wrong. I've been learning about everything lately.
The last thing I've been learning about is possibly stuff to do with my work, with workplace health and safety, policies and things.
Yes, there's a lot to do in there. Do you like it?
Yeah, sometimes I do, yeah.
Okay, now actually let's take that as a tangent.
Yep.
You can find things that maybe is not your favourite thing,
Yep.
but if you find meaning in it, if you find a purpose in it,
Yes.
then you can actually create a state of flow if you decide to find a purposeful
Yes.
approach.
Yes.
And then you can create state of flow in something that is
Yes.
even
If I feel
probably-
it, what I'm doing is for the greater good of mankind, so to speak.
I was a
Busy,
terrible
but yeah.
student. I was a terrible student at school until I decided to turn my brain on in grade 12 because my little brain was very pragmatic, still is, and it said, okay, all these assignments are going in the bin. Sorry, students, don't listen to this. But it's true. They're all going in the bin. They have no purpose. They have no purpose whatsoever. And so I wasn't interested.
Yep.
When I got to year 12, it was like, okay, this is going towards my then OP. I'm feeling a bit old.
I got a TE, so I'm a lot older than you.
Fantastic. And then and then when I actually became a psychologist and I was, writing ridiculous amount of reports as I do daily, I the fact that they have purpose means I can just get into a
And do
ridiculous
it. You know
amount of
why
work.
you're doing it.
Yeah, so even if you're doing something that isn't considered fun, if it's purposeful and meaningful, that's fantastic.
Tangent.
Love them.
I think that this is a lot of the reason why kids in school don't focus and do have trouble getting through things because they can't see the relevance.
You are so on the money. They're absolutely. How many of them say, well, what's the point of this? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I just know personally with my own teenagers and one in particular of them, if there's no relevance, if he cannot see the relevance to what he's being asked to do, he's not going to waste time doing it.
And, you know, we, not you and I, I'd like to hope, but a lot of adults will say, well, you know, just get into the system because we're telling you to. But they're actually quite right.
It's taken me a long time to understand that he really, really thinks that.
Yes.
It's a thing for him.
Yes.
Because I'm just do it. You've been told to do it, just do
He'd be
it.
saying why.
Yep.
Well, state of flow is all about finding a why. I've had accountants that tell me that their state of flow is about creating order around them. It's about getting the systems done. Now, accountancy would be the last thing I would do with my brain, as my accountant would tell you.
Yes.
But yeah, no, I love it. I love every shape and size. Everyone's different.
That's why we're interesting.
Yes. And state of flow is actually about discovering your individuality. It's really about saying, what is it that makes you tick? What gives you purpose? Which is so great.
And if you can tap into that,
yeah,
you're halfway there.
Okay. So I'm going to get you to list your 5 interests.
God. Yes.
Well, you know, I could list about 50.
Could
honestly.
you? Yeah, but you're a little bit special.
I know.
Okay.
Okay, you ready?
Yes.
We're going to take turns.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Well, yes, I've written signposts for a living, but I really, really, really enjoy is writing fiction, which I'm not allowed to publish. I'm not letting myself publish until signposts for a living is published.
A huge success.
But the thing that I spend my time daydreaming about is my beautiful, crime thriller fiction that I'm having fun writing.
Yes.
2 of 6 written. Do you know there's 6 now, not 5?
There was 2 last time.
I know. Anyway, yeah, there's mine. Go.
Yes. So is reading. I love reading. That's one of my passions.
Absolutely.
That is, I get so much out of reading and I get into that, forget what the time is.
Okay, we're counting to 5 and you're up to number 2. Okay, my second one is oil painting. Have you seen my oil painting?
No.
I'm into
Here's a
oil
secret.
painting. I know. I think I was something
In a past life.
Yes, it's just natural. I love it. Must show you after this.
Oh, you did show me. Sorry, I forgot.
Must have been memorable.
No, you surprised me. You're very good.
Well, you know, you have to say that now, don't you? But I love it. And, you know, lovely John, beautiful John, he just sort of leaves me alone. I'm just gone. I'm gone, aren't I? Yeah, he's nodding to me. Literally, I go in and I'm gone. He's like, see you tomorrow. State of flow.
Excellent.
This is what we're talking about.
Yep. Okay.
Your turn?
Gardening.
Oh, I'm going to join you on that.
Which I never was. This is a new one for me in the last few years. But gardening, just being out there, doing your thing, it's complete. It's a little bit creative, I guess, too. And just,
I love making dirt.
Do you?
I really do. I've got a worm farm. I make dirt. It's so rewarding. I just love it. I love getting my fingers into it.
Yeah. See, I'm a farmer's wife.
So what does that mean?
Dirt's everywhere. It's just I don't need to make it.
Yeah, but mine's really exciting.
You'd have quality dirt, no doubt.
Yeah. And I get very excited by wormweed as
Wormweed, okay. Yeah.
You know, yeah, I'll share.
What's the name of that? It's got a funny name, wormweed.
Really?
Yeah.
No, I'm going to Google that.
Okay.
Okay, we've both shared that one.
Okay, the gardening.
Taking one for the team, so it's my turn.
Yeah, you have another go.
Okay.
Because you're prepared, remember?
Scuba
You
diving.
know what we're talking
Scuba
about.
diving, you know. We're about to go diving at Southwest Rocks with sharks. And my admin tells me they're going to eat my face. Seriously. I come back to work to it's just a shark didn't eat your face.
There you go.
Yeah.
Tangent.
Yep.
I don't know if this is one of my things because I haven't done it very often, but we snorkeled over the reef
Oh, really?
at the beginning of the year.
Which reef? Because we might not have people from Queensland.
Okay, Great Barrier.
Yes.
And it was amazing. And I saw a shark.
Oh, did you?
And I was out there with my husband and my 2 kids and 2 tour guides, in inverted commas, that were showing us around. And we were just floating with the current looking at the reef and they were pointing things out. And I went off on my own little tangent and had a little look around and then there was a shark. So I and straight back to the
I
group.
hope you didn't pee yourself because I'm attracted to that.
No, I didn't pee myself, and I didn't even tell anyone because I thought if I tell...
So you didn't tell your children you left them in the water?
No.
That's not something to
I
advertise.
thought, now we're in the middle of the ocean. Now's not the time to have a panic attack. So...
Save yourself.
But it was amazing.
But what sort of shark was it?
Oh, it was probably just one of those reef.
But did it have a black tip or a white tip?
Yeah, black tip, I think.
They're fine.
Yeah, I did think that, but...
Just think of a pussycat.
It's a bit like the snake in my kitchen this week.
Okay. Okay. So let's talk about that snake for a mere second. So you sent me a photo of a snake and it was climbing. It was spectacularly climbing up the cutlery drawer. The cupboards, yeah. Wasn't it? And and just to explain to listeners, you are how far west? How many hours?
Oh, okay. So if you know where Brisbane is, we're about 5 hours west of Brisbane.
On a property?
Yes.
And you have snakes?
Yes. And I was just watching TV on the couch. This is another one of my specialties, watching TV. Lose time.
Yep.
Can I count that? That's one of my things.
No, that's not a good one.
Oh, okay.
You're not growing and extending unless it's a documentary or a comedy that's very, very intelligent.
Okay. Right. Well, I'm not sure what I was watching. I'm
Nothing
sure
impressive.
It was intelligent.
Yeah.
And I could hear this noise behind me and I thought, oh, that's a bit odd. And I turned around and there's this bloody great snake
I saw.
up the screen door trying to get out. And
You squealed like a girl.
I swore.
Did you?
Yes.
I know that.
And yes, and then had to ring my husband 3 times. He didn't answer his phone the first nor the second time. And on the third he thought, well, she must want something.
Were you standing on the table?
Not at that point.
Right.
I just said, there's a snake, you need to come. He said, I'm up the paddock. I said, there's a snake, you need to come. And he came.
This is not a conversation. Really?
And we caught it. And
We caught it.
yeah, okay, I did get on the table while my husband...
What is the we? We caught
We're a
it.
team. I was talking him through it.
You were squealing.
I was talking him through it. It's fine.
You were swearing at him or the snake.
No, the snake. And then
I'm sure he could
but we
tell
got
the
we got
difference.
the snake and it was all, and it turned out to just be a tree snake, so it was harmless anyway.
Very.
But we didn't know that while we were trying to
I love when you said to me, "Oh, we've got emu chicks. We've got emu chicks." By the time I got back to you, you said, "We don't have emu chicks."
Yes, they were dropping off. They're fragile little things.
Well, they weren't fragile. They were eaten.
Not by me.
Didn't.
Yes, a hawk came in and got them. The last one that was my friend. Emu was his name.
You called him.
Yeah, and I used to carry him around in a bag like I was a Hollywood star with a chihuahua. And
With an emu.
yes.
That's hilarious. And you called him emu because that's creative.
Yes, called him Emu.
Yeah.
And he would follow me around chirping and thought I was his mummy.
That's so sad.
But a hawk got him, yeah.
You bonded with him.
We did.
Oh, that's really
Yes,
sad.
I imprinted with him.
Your beautiful boy would have been sad.
Yes, he was.
Oh.
Yes, we were all a bit sad.
Did you keep the emu eggs because they're very pretty?
No.
No. You should next time.
Okay.
I'll keep that.
I'll get you some.
There you go. Okay.
Back on topic.
Back on topic. I want everybody to think of themselves as a bowerbird.
Okay.
Now, I have all these people that come in and I say to them, okay, what are your passions? What are your hobbies? And they say, oh, gosh, I don't have any. And then they'll say, oh, I didn't have any since I was at school.
That's what was going through my head. You just put me on the spot. Thanks.
I know, that's what I do. No, but I hear it all the time.
Yep.
All the time. And, that's sad, isn't it? Because they've really lost their, again, individuality and they've become a bit too much of a team player, lost themselves. And they're all about being very sensible adults, So they've got their career going. They're very sensible with whatever they're, doing with their family and their kids. All very important, but nevertheless you have to live and be your own person. So then it's a case of saying, okay, you know what, you don't need the answers, but I want you to have a really kind of curious attitude. And I want you to say yes to a lot of things that are
You wouldn't normally say
too
yes to.
extreme. Don't have to say yes to everything, right? Sorry, my imagination. But try things. And the fun of finding out you don't like them is in itself conversation, isn't it? And that's information.
Yes.
And go along and find out you're terrible at doing this or you're terrible at that, but it was pretty funny.
Yes.
You had a go, and meanwhile you met people, and then you found out another avenue and you checked that out and you explored that. But basically being really open, being really playful. A lot of people think, oh, I don't know if I'm good at that. That's not what it's about. It's about having fun.
Yeah.
And how are you going to know if you don't go give it a go?
It's really hard to do though.
I don't find that. I'm yes, let's do that.
But if you're out of practice doing that, that's
It's
what
true.
kids do.
Yeah,
and we lose that ability.
You're so right. You're so right. And adults need to really learn to tap into just giving it a go, having a go.
It's what you tell. It's what you tell. That's how you encourage people all the time. I do.
Yeah.
Give it a go. You'll never know.
Yeah.
But it's,
So I've had people come along and say, okay, I really want to learn how to make beer. So they go and figure that out. Mm-hmm. Or they really want to go and I've had some interesting ones. Mm-hmm. They want to become, one person wanted to get really good at ping pong and join a ping pong. We have a ping pong club here. Did you know that?
No.
We do. They're very into ping pong. Yeah. Other people who wanted to get into, there's all the arts and crafts.
Yes.
You know, that whole spectrum.
Yes.
There's the whole sports side.
Mm-hmm.
There's the people who want to get into the whole kind of cultural interest and get involved with those sorts of things. Mm-hmm. Then there's people who are really passionate about the political sort of side and they want to get into all of that. There's people who want to get into the whole environmental side. Then there's the people who really want to get into just their backyard. They have all those projects. And we saw COVID make people really kind of
focus
look
on
in
that
their
thing.
backyard. Yeah.
Find joy in their home.
Bunnings did well. Yeah. So, you know, the options are enormous. And it's a case of if you're mildly interested, if you're mildly curious and you haven't given it a go for it. Have a go. And when I say a bowerbird, it really is looking around all the time for inspiration and going, well, that's interesting, you know, and getting out of your comfort zone.
Should you explain what a bowerbird is and does for those listening that don't know that?
There you go, because I also like birds. So bowerbirds are amazing. Do you know about bowerbirds?
Yeah.
Okay. So bowerbirds, as I understand them, are these really slightly loopy birds that travel around and collect all things blue. And they'll go around and get all sorts of material that is blue and bring it back to their nest and create a blue
Have you
nest.
ever seen a bowerbird's nest?
I think I have, but I don't know if it's in my imagination. But I think I have in
They're amazing.
Binnaburra.
Yeah, you would have then.
Yeah.
And they're amazing creations. They've actually got a bower that they create, like an archway, and they sit in there and they have all their precious things around them.
Yeah.
And, they really like blue, but they can just like shiny things as well. So you'll get greens and reds and yellows.
I like the bowerbird.
Yeah, so the flamboyant bowerbird will have lots of colours.
So you like my analogy?
Yes.
Exactly.
So it's all about collecting things that interest you.
Absolutely. So this is, you know, so many people come in, tangent, and this might sound really harsh. Okay, so one of my approaches, is I really like to get alongside clients and work with them, absolutely. But I'm also quite direct if needed. Do you know what I mean? With care, with care. And so they'll come in and they'll say to me, I'm really, really not happy and I'm really just trudging through the mud in life. And then I'll look at how they're approaching their life and I'll say, well, why would you be happy? You're not living. And it's quite confronting. So I really, you know, as much as we're having fun with this, it's actually kind of quite scary for a lot of people because it takes a bit of a overhaul.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's changing mindset and changing a lot of things. That's what I was alluding to before, I suppose, is when you're a kid and you're footloose and fancy free, it's very easy to do this and, I like that, look at that, this is happening.
Yeah.
I'll have a crack at that.
Oh, well, kids are so good at just having this kind of intrigue into the world. And so I say to adults all the time, how's the passion in your life? And they think I mean sex. Well, sex is great, but no, I don't mean sex. I mean passion for living. And how's your sense of purpose? And pretty confronting.
Yes.
But if we don't have yes, we're not okay. Yeah, and you know, with my kids, when they have got interests and they're really into it and they might be extremely inconvenient, I'm like, okay, let's do that. Let's make that happen somehow because I am not going to dampen your passion. Some of them are quite inconvenient, their interests, you know. I had our beautiful number 2 who is 17 in grade 12, and last year he was in 2 musicals at the same time during grade 11. That wasn't fun. But, you know, he was into it. We've got our eldest who's into marine fish and he just doesn't understand that, you know, he just gets bigger and bigger and bigger and more ambitious and he loves it. It's his money and our humour.
And space in your house.
Yeah. But he comes alive. He comes alive and he loves it.
Yep. It's worth it.
Absolutely. So, you know, as much as I joke, I couldn't be more of a champion for him. Yeah, so it's just huge. Now, here's another interesting thing. A lot of people say I don't have money for what I want to do.
Yes. That thought just crossed through my mind when you were speaking.
Know, the marine tank wasn't a good example. But the truth is there's actually research on this. And they've found that the simpler and the more wholesome the activity, the more sense of contentment and purpose and meaning. So, theoretically, it's not actually lots of cash. It's actually when you actually get involved and you're actually you're getting in on a very kind of, getting in and learning, and you're actually creating it yourself. Yeah. Yeah. I think it takes more creativity.
And it's sometimes, you might have to think harder about those things too.
So here's the thing. I do a lot of palliative care. Did you know that?
Do you?
I do. It's an honour, and I don't mean that in a wanky way. It really, really
so
is.
So much about you I don't know.
Well, let's keep talking.
Okay.
So people who are on their
painting,
deathbed.
Palliative care.
One might be helping with the other. No. So, you're working with people who are on their deathbed, and genuinely it's an honour. And you learn really quickly, don't fuck around.
Yep.
And that's what this is about. All these people, they look back and they look and they say, how well have I lived life? And it's really, apart from a love for people, their people, and love for themselves, it's love for life.
Yep.
And that's what this is about. So, it's just so great.
That's that old saying that no one's ever put on their tombstone, I wish I'd worked harder.
Yes, absolutely. Maybe they should say, don't fuck around. I think the message should be shared a bit.
Perhaps.
Yeah. So there you go. There you go. So how would you rate yourself on 1 to 10 with regard to passion and purpose?
I'm possibly not very good at it.
Well, that's okay. It's more of the conversation of getting it going. My problem is I'm overflowing to the point of burning myself out with too much on my plate. I just need 2 lives to squeeze it in, I think.
And I'm a person that would have to think very hard about making that what it could be and making it happen.
Yeah.
Because it's not in my nature.
And it's so any area that you think you'd love to learn about it and you become more proficient and you've got just that kind of like scratch of curiosity, scratch hard. So there you go, my darling.
There you go.
So what have you got there?
So I've got, it's my job. This is
your
my job.
I've handed it over. I'm sharing
for
that.
where you can find Kirsten. So her website is kirstenhunterauthor.com. Her Facebook page is Kirsten Hunter Author. Her Instagram handle is Kirsten Hunter Author, and she's on Twitter as Kirsten Hunter AU. Her YouTube channel is Psych in Your Car, and podcast Signpost for Living with Kirsten Hunter, Dr. Kirsten Hunter. That's right, you're a doctor.
Apparently, not
yes.
really. I am.
So, and you can find the podcasts wherever you get your podcasts from and hit subscribe.
Yes.
And if you like us, even leave a rating and a review.
Oh, that's new.
Actually, it's not about me, it's about you. If you like Kirsten, do that.
Team effort, darling.
So there you go.
So much fun.
Yes.
Take care, sweetheart.
See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.